Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the Dhanam Management Professional of the Year 2014 Award. And this is awarded to Mr. Elias George, IAS, Managing Director, Kochi Metro Rail Limited. Mr. Elias George, Managing Director, Kochi Metro Rail Limited, and a visionary who thinks big but speaks less. He's striving hard, despite many odds, to change the face of Kochi and to make it a world-class facility. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the AV about him.
He would rather let his work talk than explain how he would make the state's dream project a reality soon. A man of few words, Mr. Elias George has been answering the questions of skeptical Keralites through his work for past couple of years, how a mega project can be carried out smoothly, with quick thoughts, effective dealings and fast work. Credit goes to this additional Chief Secretary for taking forward the project, keeping aside delays, controversies and objections. When he took charge in 2012, he stepped in proactively and solved legal hurdles, retendered and reduced the cost of the project, speeded up the funding process and improved public acceptance by incorporating the metro with water, road and rail transportation. While his initiatives helped the metro rail construction race ahead on the right track, it also brought Kochi forward as a prospective investment destination for foreign agencies. For this former corporation commissioner, it is indeed a special opportunity to turn Kochi into one of the most developed cities in the world. Thanks to him, the entire transport network will soon be redesigned to add to the appeal of the city and the comfort of the public. With years-long experience across different sectors of administration, Mr. George is set to make Metro the beginning of Kerala's emergence as a state with transport facilities of international standards. Dhanam extends hearty wishes to Mr. Elias George and bestows on him the Dhanam Management Professional of the Year 2014 Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, to give away the Dhanam Management Professional of the Year 2014 Award, I would like to invite none other than our chief guest, Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy, Chairman, NASSCOM, Founder and Executive Chairman, Scient. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him on stage. May I invite Mr. Kurian Abraham, Chief Editor and Managing Director, Dhanam Publications Private Limited, once again on stage. Ms. Maria Abraham, Associate Editor and Director, Dhanam Publications Private Limited. And Professor T.N. Kalamani, Associate Editor, Rubber Asia. Let's welcome them on stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for another loud round of applause as I invite on stage Mr. Elias George, Managing Director, Kochi Metro Rail Limited, the winner of Dhanam Management Professional of the Year 2014. To kindly hand over the award to Mr. Elias George.
Chief guest, Mr. Reddy, Mr. Abraham, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, let me declare that all those things you saw in that slightly embarrassing movie are not true. I'm just a bureaucrat trying to do an honest day's job. Having said that, it's a special privilege to be in charge of improving the transportation network in the city. When the chairman of the jury, Mr. Govind, rang me up and requested me to accept this award, I did it with a lot of trepidation. Firstly, because Kerala is a place where too many awards are given, in my view. It's a sign of the Malayalis' thirst for social recognition. Every day in the paper, 5 awards are given, and it's proliferating like some kind of a virus. So I was very, very reluctant to come up on stage and do this today. But having said that, let me hasten to add that Dhanam is one magazine which has attained great respectability in the industrial sphere of Kerala. It has had a played a stellar role. I've been watching them for the last 20 odd years in promoting business and industry in the state, and it's a matter of great honor that I'm being presented with this award. I decided to accept this award despite my reservations because this is an opportunity for me to showcase my company, Kochi Metro Rail Limited. We are a very young company. Even though we are owned jointly by the Government of India and the Government of Kerala, we work like a startup. The average age is about 30 years old. I'm the oldest, one of the oldest guys there. And we're very proud. We are a no corruption company. We have only one rule. If there is any integrity lapse in my company, that fellow is out the same evening. And there's not a single instance. Every single procurement made by Kochi Metro Rail is videographed. And one thing I'm very sure about is as long as this company exists, this will be one company which does a completely transparent and completely open kind of business. I don't want to take too much of your time. The reason I'm here is also to evangelize what KMRl is trying to do. We started out 2 years back with the intention of setting up and operating a world-class metro system for Kochi. But then over time, over the few months, we realized that building a metro is not an answer to Kochi's transportation woes. Kochi was not developed as a planned city. It grew up organically by itself. The roads are not wide enough. Everyone's got 2 cars. There's this famous saying by a mayor of Bogota, Mr. Penalosa, I think everyone knows that saying. It says that a developed country is not a place where the poor have cars. It's a place where the rich use public transport. Go to any city in Europe. The cabinet secretary in the UK goes by tube. So does the British Prime Minister once in a while. Where do you find in any Indian city people like you going by public transport? But Kochi has reached a stage where our children and our children's children will have no other option but to use public transport. The roads are not wide enough. Cars are a no-go. In Bangalore, you can't plan where you're going and when you'll reach there. And in the next 5 years, if we don't turn around the transportation system of the city, we are going to reach a similar impasse. Which is why we started working on making public transportation the preferred option for everybody, rich and poor in the city. And we realized that building a metro is only one part of this puzzle. So now what we are trying to do is to have a single, seamless public transportation system in the city of Kochi with a single ticketing, which is a paperless ticketing. It's an app on your phone. That app will also provide you a number of other services like paying your gas bill and your power bill and so on. The same thing will tell you where the bus is going to come from, where the boat is going to come from. We've also got into the water transportation business in a major way. Kochi's water transport, when I was a kid, was thriving. Now it's dying. So we are trying to bring in a big bang investment with our funding from our friends from France and Germany, whereby all along the Vembanad ecosystem, you'll have faster boats, bigger boats, and make water transport a viable mode of transport. I personally believe it's more important than building a metro for Kochi city. So basically, public transport in Kochi has to be the default mode of transport in 5 years for every single person sitting in this room. And this is what we in KMRl are trying to do. This is not my effort alone. Of course, I have great pride in having built this team. We have also brought in a public-private partnership model, which I believe is world-class. We have something called a ticket collecting system worth 200 crores. We got Axis Bank not only to invest in that, the entire money they will pay, they are also giving us a premium of 200 crores for the privilege of investing that money because we have packaged the metro clientele as a market and sold it back to them. We are going to have a Kochi Metro transportation card, which will also be a debit cum credit card for any bank with the Axis Bank branding on it. And in return for the privilege of giving a name to them, they've given us 400 crore gratis. So these are the kind of experiments which Kochi Metro is trying to do. I don't want to spend too much of your time. The only message I have is that we need the whole of Kochi to stand with us in this endeavor. We need to push open doors in Trivandrum. We need to push open doors in Delhi. And if all of you are behind us, Kochi will be one of the world-class public transportation cities in this part of the world. I believe in Kochi. The reason I've come here and forsaken my family sits in Delhi is because I believe in the future of the city. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. When all these funding agencies come, they come for 3 reasons. One is they love the city. 2, they believe in this youthful organization of mine called KMRl. And third thing they tell me is that this is a place where there is equity, where the poor have equal access to the justice system, the educational system, and the health system. There is something called the John Rawls test. I don't know whether you heard about the John Rawls test. John Rawls was a famous British philosopher and economist. His test is the following. If you can't choose which family you're born into, rich or poor, where in the world would you choose to be born in? And Kerala is one state which satisfies the John Rawls test. Because if you're born poor here, you have a chance to get into access to the High Court, you have a chance to go to a decent school, you have a chance to go to a decent medical facility. Where else in India, or the world for that matter, will you get this kind of equity? This is why we believe in Kochi, and with all your support, we can make this dream come true. Thank you, Mr. Abraham and the team, for giving me this award. It's a great privilege and an honor I accept on behalf of the KMRl team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That indeed was a great message to all of us. Very quickly put together, though. Thank you so much, sir.